Welcome to Oculus of the Wise. What if I told you that everything you thought you knew about your spiritual path was only half the truth? That right now, in this very moment, you are standing at the edge of a revelation so profound it will crack open your entire understanding of who you are and why you are here. You see, for decades, maybe your entire life, you have been told to choose. Choose the light, be positive, raise your vibration, love and light, they said. But deep inside, in a place you barely let yourself acknowledge, something has always felt incomplete. Like you are holding back a part of yourself. A powerful, dangerous, necessary part that the world keeps telling you to suppress. And here is what no one has had the courage to tell you until now. You were never meant to choose. You were built to carry both. The light that heals and the darkness that destroys everything false. You are not broken for feeling this split. You are awakening to your true design. You are what the ancient texts called a dual frequency chosen one, and your power is not just rare, it is revolutionary. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine an ancient temple hidden deep in a jungle untouched by modern hands. Inside, two beings sit in perfect stillness. One radiates a soft golden light that makes everything around it feel safe, warm, held. The other pulses with a dark magnetic force that demands truth, strips away illusion, commands respect through sheer presence. Here is what most people miss when they see this image. These two are not enemies. They are not even opposites. They are partners in the most sacred mission in the universe, the evolution of consciousness itself. And if you have made it this far in your life carrying both of these frequencies inside you, feeling like you do not quite fit anywhere, like you are too much for the light workers and too soft for the shadow workers, then you need to hear this. You are not lost. You are not confused. You have been in training your entire life for what comes next. Today, I am going to show you the 7 unmistakable signs that you carry this rare dual power. And by the end of this journey, you will not just understand it, you will feel it in your bones. You will know exactly what you have been built to do and why the world has always felt too small for the magnitude of what you carry inside. The first sign hits like a lightning bolt once you see it. You are both the healer and the destroyer, and you are equally comfortable in both roles. Think about it. When someone comes to you in pain, you do not just want to make them feel better, you want to show them the truth, even if it shatters them first. You have sat across from friends, family, even strangers, and you have known with absolute clarity, this person needs comfort right now, or this person needs to be confronted with what they are avoiding. And here is the thing that makes you different. You are not afraid of either. You will hold space for someone's grief without trying to fix it. You will let them fall apart in your presence because you know that sometimes falling apart is the only way forward. But you will also speak the hard truth they need to hear, the one everyone else is too scared to say. You will cut the cord they are clinging to because you can see it is strangling their growth. This is not cruelty. This is precision. This is what it means to love someone enough to let them transform, even if transformation looks like collapse first. You have always known that real healing is not about making people comfortable. It is about making them whole. And wholeness requires fire as much as it requires water. So ask yourself right now, when you look at the people you have helped over the years, did you save them from their pain or did you guide them through it? Did you make them feel better or did you make them stronger? If you felt that question land in your chest, stay with me because we are just getting started. The second sign is something you have probably been shamed for your entire life. Your emotional range is terrifyingly vast, and it refuses to be tamed. One moment you are in a state of such profound peace that you could sit in meditation for hours, connected to something infinite and holy. The next moment, you are on the floor, sobbing with a grief so ancient you cannot even name where it came from. People have called you unstable, too sensitive, too dramatic, too intense. But here is what they do not understand, and probably never will. You are not just feeling your own emotions. You are a receiver for the collective unconscious. You feel timelines that never unfolded. You feel the grief your ancestors never processed. You feel the rage of your future self watching you hold back your power. And the most important part, the part that separates you from everyone else, you do not run from any of it. When the darkness comes, you do not numb it with distractions or spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. You let it move through you. You write it out. You scream it out. You cry not just for yourself, but for every part of the world that has forgotten how to feel. This is not weakness. This is your superpower. Because while everyone else is running from their depths, you are diving into yours. You are mapping territories of the human experience that most people will spend their whole lives avoiding. And that map, that willingness to descend, that is what makes you a bridge between worlds. So let me ask you something. What if your emotional intensity is not a dysfunction? What if it is data? What if your sensitivity is not something to manage, but a weapon of remembrance that allows you to access truths others cannot see? If that question just shifted something in you, then hit that like button right now, because you are starting to remember who you actually are. And trust me, we are about to go even deeper. The third sign is the one that has probably caused you the most pain, but it is also proof of your purpose. You have been rejected by both the light and the dark, but you have never stopped walking between them. You tried to fit in with the spiritual communities that only want to talk about love and light. You showed up to their circles, their workshops, their retreats. But something always felt off. You could not pretend that anger is not sacred. You could not ignore the power in destruction. You could not shrink your truth small enough to fit their comfort zone. So you left, or they pushed you out. Then you tried the other side, the rebels, the shadow workers, the ones who glorify rage and chaos and burning it all down. And at first it felt like home, because finally, someone was acknowledging the fire inside you. But then you realized something. You could not turn off the soft, holy part of you that still believes in miracles. You could not abandon the light worker inside you who knows that love is real and healing is possible. So they rejected you too soft, too hopeful, not dark enough. And there you were, alone in the middle, belonging nowhere. But here is the truth they never told you. That exile was not rejection. That was your initiation. You were not supposed to fit into either camp, because you are not here to choose sides. You are here to build the bridge between them. You are here to show the light workers that their shadow is sacred, and the shadow workers that their light is powerful. You are the living proof that wholeness exists. And wholeness does not fit in boxes. Think about this carefully. Are you still trying to be understood by people who live in binary thinking? Or are you finally ready to become the language the world has not learned to speak yet? Now we move into the fourth sign. And this one is about your relationships. Every relationship in your life is either deeply transformative or completely unsustainable. There is no middle ground. You have probably noticed it. People either magnetize to you with an intensity that borders on worship, or they run from you like you are a threat to their entire reality. And you are a mirror that does not just show people who they are. You show them who they are still too afraid to become. Your very presence asks the question they have been avoiding their whole life. Are you going to keep playing small, or are you going to step into your magnitude? That is why your friendships do not last unless they are built on truth. That is why your romantic relationships either evolve both people or explode. That is why mentors who once praised you suddenly turn cold when your growth starts threatening their authority. You were never designed to be easy to love. You were designed to be impossible to ignore, and here is where most people with your frequency get trapped. They try to tone it down. They try to be more digestible, more relatable, more normal. They abandon their precision to avoid making people uncomfortable. But every time you do that, you leak your power. Every time you soften your truth to protect someone else's illusion, you betray the exact mission you came here to complete. So the question becomes this: are you loving people in a way that actually liberates them, even if it costs you the relationship, or are you performing love to avoid being alone? Because here is what I know about you. You would rather be alone in your truth than surrounded by people who only love the version of you that makes them comfortable. And that is not loneliness, that is sovereignty. Subscribe to this channel right now if you are finally ready to stop apologizing for the intensity of your existence. Because what comes next is going to show you how to stabilize this power and turn it into a force that reshapes reality itself. The fifth sign is something most people will never admit out loud, but you have always known it. You can see both the divine potential and the hidden distortion in everyone, and you refuse to collapse into either. You are not naive. You do not put people on pedestals. You see their soul contract and their shadow strategy at the same time. You can look at someone and think they are meant for something extraordinary while simultaneously seeing exactly how they are sabotaging themselves. And here is the difference between you and everyone else. You do not need them to be perfect to love them, and you do not need to hate them to set a boundary. This is the paradox you have mastered. You love with awareness. You lead without illusion. You hold space for people's highest timeline while refusing to enable their lowest patterns. And sometimes, just your presence in someone's life activates them. Not because you are trying to change them, but because your clarity is so clean, so undeniable, that it forces them to see what they have been avoiding. This is not manipulation. This is what happens when someone finally encounters a frequency that will not participate in their delusions. But here is the shadow side of this gift. You have probably lost people because you would not lie to them. You have been called harsh, cold, judgmental, when all you were doing was telling them the truth they asked you not to speak. And you have had to learn the hardest lesson of all. Some people do not want to be awakened, some people want to be comfortable, and your job is not to save them from their choice. Your job is to remain clean in your frequency so that the ones who are ready can find you. So ask yourself this: are you still trying to wake up people who have chosen to stay asleep? Or are you ready to focus your energy only on those who are already reaching for the light? The sixth sign is going to challenge everything you thought about spiritual power. You do not just hold the paradox of light and dark. You are the paradox resolved. Most people spend their whole lives swinging between extremes. They are either all love and no boundaries, or all boundaries and no compassion. They are either lost in emotion or completely disconnected from feeling. They are either too open or too closed. But you have learned to hold both at the same time without losing yourself in either. You can be ferociously protective and deeply compassionate in the same breath. You can be soft enough to hold someone in their pain and strong enough to refuse to carry it for them. You can be open to possibility while being ruthlessly discerning about what you allow into your field. This is not balance. Balance implies equal parts of two things. This is integration. This is wholeness. This is what it looks like when someone stops fighting their own complexity and starts wielding it as power. And here is what most spiritual teachers will not tell you. This level of integration only comes through one path: suffering that you refuse to run from. Every time life crushed you and you chose to feel it instead of numb it, you grew stronger. Every time you were betrayed and you chose to examine your own part instead of just blaming them, you grew wiser. Every time you failed and you chose to extract the lesson instead of the excuse, you grew more precise. Your pain was not random, it was the forge. And you are the blade that came out of that fire. Now here is the question that separates the ones who waste this power from the ones who wield it. Are you going to keep seeing your past as trauma, or are you going to finally recognize it as training? The seventh and final sign is the one that will determine everything that comes next in your life. You know you are here to build something that has never existed before, and you are willing to be misunderstood for as long as it takes to complete it. You are not here to restore the old systems. You are not here to make the current world more comfortable. You are here to birth something entirely new, and that means you carry blueprints in your consciousness that no one around you can see yet. You have visions of futures that do not make sense in the current paradigm. You feel called to create structures, businesses, communities, art, systems that the world is not ready for. And here is the test. Can you hold that vision stable even when everyone around you thinks you are crazy? Can you keep building even when no one understands what you are building? Can you stay committed to your mission even when there is no external validation, no proof that it is going to work? Nothing but the undeniable knowing inside you that this is what you came here to do. Because here is what I know about people who carry dual frequency power. They do not build for applause. They build because they have to, because the vision inside them is so loud, so persistent, so alive that not building would feel like dying. Your legacy is not going to look like anyone else's. It is not going to be celebrated in the way you might want. You might never be famous. You might never be rich. You might never get the recognition you deserve, but your impact will be cosmic. You are here to shift timelines. You are here to collapse old paradigms and anchor new ones. You are here to trigger evolution in every person whose life touches yours. And that kind of impact does not show up in follower counts or bank accounts. It shows up in the frequency, in the ripple effect that moves through generations you will never meet. So I am going to ask you the most important question you will hear today. Now that you know what you are, now that you see your power clearly, are you going to keep waiting for permission from a world that was never designed to recognize what you carry? Or are you finally ready to stop performing and start building? Because here is the truth. The world is burning. The old systems are collapsing. Everything that was built on lies is crumbling, and we, the dual frequency chosen ones, we are not here to save what is dying. We are here to midwife what is being born. The light chosen ones must hold space for the grief of a world in transition. The dark chosen ones must clear away everything false, so the truth has room to emerge. And you, carrying both frequencies, you are the bridge, you are the template. You are the proof that wholeness is possible, but only if you stop hiding, only if you stop diluting your truth to make other people comfortable, only if you finally accept that your presence alone is a catalyst. And catalysts do not get to be neutral, so let me be absolutely clear. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are not here to make the journey easier for people who refuse to do their own work. You are here to be undeniable, exact, unshakable. You are here to become so clean in your frequency that distortion cannot survive in your presence. You are here to build structures that only truth can enter. You are here to love in a way that liberates instead of binds, and that requires something most people will never give. Total commitment to your own transformation, daily practice, ruthless honesty, the willingness to burn down every version of yourself that no longer serves the mission. Your emotional intensity is your fuel. Your ability to see both light and shadow is your vision. Your history of rejection is your training. Your unwillingness to compromise is your integrity. And all of it, every single part of what makes you feel too much, too intense, too different, all of it was designed to turn you into exactly what the world needs most right now. a frequency holder who cannot be bought, manipulated, or silenced. Now, here is what happens next. You have a choice to make. Not in a month, not tomorrow, right now. You can close this video and go back to pretending you are normal. You can keep shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold you. You can keep performing a version of yourself that makes other people comfortable while your soul screams for expression, or you can finally accept the mantle you were born to carry. You can stop apologizing for your power. You can stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand. You can stop waiting for someone to give you permission to become who you already are. The temple has been waiting for you. The mission has been waiting for you. The world you are meant to build has been waiting for you, and it is time. If this message activated something deep in your core, do two things right now. First, leave a comment below telling me which of these 7 signs hit you the hardest, because I read every single one and your story matters. Second, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. In the coming videos, we are going into the training protocols for dual frequency, chosen ones. How to protect your field, how to stabilize your power, how to build structures that can hold the magnitude of what you came here to create. This is not theory. This is not fluff. This is the real work of spiritual architecture, and you are ready. Welcome home, architect. The grid has been waiting for you.